Okay, everyone, welcome to this week's version of Rostrum Roundup. Martin Farrall, our fearless leader, is away on holidays this week, so it's my chance to be the rose amongst two thorns. I've got Pete and I've got Meg, and we're going to go straight into it. Meg, what do we got first?
Oh, fantastic. I've got a beautiful jewellery and watch auction coming up next Thursday. And the first piece I have for that is this lovely IWC 18 Karat gold wristwatch. So by the International Wristwatch Company. First started back in the 1860s with Florentine Aristo Jones. Great name he's got there. A Boston chap who went over to Switzerland and teamed up with a group over there to produce these watches. First one came out in about the 1890s, and this one's from about the 1960s. Got the lovely little date aperture there as well. It's an aftermarket band, but of the same era, all in 18 karat gold again.
Would you get this upon retirement? Yeah, that's an old saying.
Would be nice. I wouldn't mind one of those on retirement. But
what's that worth?
This one here, probably about 2,500 to 3,000.
Pocket change.
Oh, it's got to be worth that in the gold alone, surely.
And so this sells next week?
Yes.
Yes, great. Petey?
All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Cognac. And for anyone who doesn't know what Cognac is, it's essentially a brandy that is specifically distilled in the area of Cognac in France. This is the from Mantel, the L'Or, which is a special edition. You can see that it comes in a 24 karat gold plated bottle. And they're trying to make the connection between the premium quality of the Cognac and the gold, saying that they're both precious. So the other thing to know about this is that it's actually not commercially available, which makes it so much more wonderful to have here. So someone must have purchased this overseas and then brought it over. So overseas, this would retail probably for around $5,000. And because it's so hard to get here, we think it might get around the 3,000 mark.
Okay, good one. So this is in Simon's wine sale that's on Thursday.
Which is, yes.
The wine sale Thursday, 2 o'clock, I think it is. So just so you know, my birthday's coming up. I'm into gold watches as well as Cognac.
Excellent, something each.
And to go for the trifecta, my first lot is these Alfred Dunhill Havana cigars. These are also going through Simon's wine sale. Now, these are wonderful, wonderful cigars. As you can see over my shoulder here, we've got a shot of Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill is the guy that made these cigars famous. He loved these cigars. It's rumoured that he would smoke maybe 4,000 a year. Get into that. Yeah.
Smells good.
And Winston Churchill lived to the ripe old age of 91. Apparently, he was all cigars and champagne. I tell you what, it's not a bad life, is it?
It's a good diet.
Probably be looking at paying $100 to $120 per cigar. Box of cigars, bottle of Cognac, it doesn't get any better of an afternoon. So Meg, what's your number two?
Okay, so my next one is a jewellery suite. This lovely silver and turquoise Native American piece by the Zuni tribe. And it's by a lovely artist called Annie Gaspar. And she was a quite famous maker, beautifully made, hand carved. And it's a piece probably made in the 50s or 60s, I'd say. We don't get a lot of the Native American jewellery in here, but probably looking at about 300 to 400, but could go as much as 6.
Yeah, right.
Just if the right people are in on the day.
It's a good looking thing.
Yeah, I think so. Nice.
Okay, Pete, what's next?
Right, so my next item is this Satsuma Tea Caddy. Satsuma is a pottery that belonged to a clan lord, but when Japan opened up in the mid-19th century, they started producing these items on a more commercial scale for the Western market for export, and were an absolute sensation. So this is a neat little piece of the earlier export style, and does have underneath the signature, which is the Shimatsu Mon of the clan, their symbol. So it's a lovely little piece, still has the internal cover, which usually gets lost or broken. Cabinets have put an estimate of 60 to 80 on it. Yes, I know. I think it has a bit more steam in that, so I'll go more 100, 150.
Okay, my next one, in keeping with the theme of spirits and cigars, is this wonderful little early Beam Decanter. Now, Jim Beam produced this vintage phone-style decanter to help out the Infant Hearing Assessment Foundation. So money that was raised by selling these was sent to the foundation to help the little kids and their hearing issues. Now, this is the back. This is where the lid is, and that's where you'd pour it. Now, I'm not really that type of guy, but you can just see this sitting in someone's shed. And so the fella of the family goes, I'm just going to go outside and do some work in the shed, love. And he'd have this hidden on the shelf. And then he could.
He's on the phone.
Yeah, he's always on the phone. But then he could have sneaky little Jim Beams, and his wife would be none the wiser. Not that I condone that or I would ever do it, but I'm sure someone has thought about it in the past. But that's a good little unit. It's still full. The seal's unbroken, so it will still have the quality drinks in there. And my guess would be $100, $150. Not much, but a good little curio. Back to you.
Oh, right. Okay, my last one is this great chrysoprase and diamond ring. It's all in 18 carat white gold. The chrysoprase there is what they often call in the trade Australian jade. And that's because the gem quality chrysoprase out there is all mined here in Australia. The biggest mine and the best quality is up in Marlborough in Queensland. And so it's a lovely piece of it there, just cabochon cut and surrounded by all marquee cut diamonds there and round brilliant cuts as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's a lovely piece and probably looking at about 3,500 to 4,000 on that one, I think.
Beautiful. And that's also in next week's jewellery sale.
Next week's sale, and you can once again wear that while smoking the cigars and drinking the cognac.
Peter, over to you.
Yes, so the last object for me is this 19th century mantel clock. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a maker's mark on there that I could find, but because it's trying to copy the British papier mâché clocks, with the mother of pearl inlay painting and gilding, and the fact that it has a paper dial makes me suspect that it's an American clock who knew how to produce things on the cheap to undercut the British market because they had a bit of a rivalry going. So again, cabinet's done a bit of a sin here, so 60 to 80 according to them. I mean, I don't know whether it's working, but I still think that this should get more around the $100 mark.
Even as a decorative piece.
Yeah, even if it doesn't work. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, Pete, thanks for that. And I'm going to move on to this one. This thing's just walked in the door, and it's this sort of stuff absolutely fascinates me. It's an early postcard. Someone's put an early postcard book. There's some very, very early postcards in here. There's some from the war, dated 1915, where he's sent back just a little letter. It's got he's over in Egypt. The opening lines is, just a card to let you know that I'm still going strong, like the celebrated whiskey. So again, we're still back to this same spot. Very interesting little curio, this one. It really brings back memories of times gone past. I really like them. My guess would be 200 to 300, and I think it'd be closer to threes. Okay, so that wraps it up for the Rostrum Roundup this week. A couple of things are finishing up online. On Thursday, we have the online rug sale finishing up. We have the online art sale finishing up. Also, next Thursday is the online single vendor Eastern Suburbs collection of art. That'll be finishing up. And so that's all the online sales. General sales through the room. We have wine on Thursday, as well as the decorative arts and bric-a-brac, and then furniture on Friday. So come down and see us. If you can't, get online, have a look around what we've got, and we'll be back next week. Thanks very much.